Well, welcome, knitters. It's November 19th, 2014. This is episode 11 of my little Susan B. Anderson podcast. This episode, I'm giving the title Ode to Kristin, and the reason for that will become clear shortly. I would like to just jump right in. I always give a little weather update because I live in Wisconsin and we have to have a weather update. It is unseasonably cold. It's like winter just jumped upon us. It's so cold, maybe 20 degrees below the normal highs right now. And for example, yesterday I woke up and I checked the outdoor temperature and it was 8 degrees yesterday morning. That's not right. I think usually we're in the 40s or 30s about now, so it's actually more than 20 degrees below, which is not very fun. But, oh wow, what are you going to do? You just bundle up, right? You pull out your woolens and layers, and which I have today, lots and lots of layers on, just to get through the day. It's even cold inside. But we all survive. That's kind of what we like around here anyway. So I actually even made a list today. I'm attempting to be somewhat organized because I have, you can't see it, but around me on this table, on my kitchen table, I have so much fun stuff I want to share with you, and I have a review, all kinds of good things. So let's just jump right in and see how far I get and see how long it takes me to get through it. But I don't want to keep you too long, but it should be fun. I have some new exciting things to share. So the first thing I have on my list is I wanted to share a couple new products with you. They're not knitting related. One sort of is, but you'll see when I get into it. First of all, I love to wear skirts and tights, and I wear them. I love to wear skirts, but you know, when it's warm out, I don't wear the tights. But as soon as it gets warm, I wear skirts and tights, and I wear them all the time. I wanted to say every day, but it's probably not every day, but a lot of the days. I will wear a skirt and some tights. So recently, I was shopping with TC. I don't go shopping very often at all, but she needed something or other. So we had it out. There's a brand new Nordstrom's Rack store that just opened, you know, close by. And so we went in there and checked it out. And the one thing I got when I was there, the only thing I got while I was there were some new tights, because that's something I can always use. And I found these tights and I just want to share them with you because I actually went back and bought more because I liked them. I liked the tights so much. They're like thick tights. They're called Fresh Press tights. They're plush lined tights. They are just fantastic. They come in black, heather, gray, and brown. And they really do kind of have this thick, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the inside of them. So they're, you know, very thick and warm and snuggly. But I just had never seen those before. So I thought, if you're a tight girl who likes to wear tights and the skirt, like me, these might be right up your alley. I'm sure they have them online that you can purchase. I'm sure Nordstrom Rack has an online store, but they were only $7.97 is the price. So that's not too outrageous, but they're really squishy and nice. So I thought maybe I'd pass that along for you. Kind of unrelated but fun item. The other thing I got are, I learned about this, or I heard about this from Leslie of the Knit Girls podcast, Leslie and Laura. Leslie is really good at sewing, and she does a lot of quilts and things, but she mentioned this company called 100 Acts of Sewing, which in itself is so cute. It makes you want to buy it. But they have these really simple patterns, and so I bought several of these patterns. Because I really want to sew. I think about it every day. I never have time, but recently finished up just the first draft. I don't want to make too big of a deal of it because there's a long way to go, but the first draft of my next book manuscript. So I've been feeling a little bit lighter as far as the heavy weight that's on my shoulder as far as deadline obligations, but I really want to sew. I want to make more quilted placemats for my kitchen. We use those every single day, and I need a lot more. And I gave a lot of the little quilted placemats away to my kids who are moved into apartments and so on. So we need more around here. And anyway, so I bought several of these look like really easy patterns. So this one's like a jumper style dress. I mean, if I could make that and then wear my plushy tights, I'd be so happy. I would put on a long sleeve t-shirt under here. Can you see it? Like, isn't that cute? That looks good, right? I bought, this is just a shirt. They call it a tunic, but I don't look great in a tunic for my body structure, but I think I can make it shorter. But this one has sleeves, so I'll let you see here. And then last but not least, this is a dress. And they have extra small to large size in one pattern, and then they have even bigger sizes in a separate pattern, which I think is great because then you don't get the huge range that you're not going to use. She has it broken down. But anyway, we'll see when I get to that. It's a kind of a dream. 100 Acts of Sewing. I got this great little, even that is cute, isn't it? Got this little card. It's 100actsofsewing.com. And 100 is just the number written out. So that's fun. And it says on here, be sure to check out the tutorials section at 100actsofsewing.com. So she's got tutorials, which I think Leslie mentioned, and which was also very appealing to me because I have a hard time even sewing a straight line. I've sewn a little, but I'm not all that good. And then the last thing, just for kind of products that I wanted to share, I got the latest issue of Taproot magazine, and I love this magazine so much. Even just the cover. I mean, look how beautiful that cover is. So interesting. But there is usually, I'm trying to think if there's in every one, I kind of think there is a knitting pattern in every issue of the magazine. And this time there is a beautiful sweater. It's called the Barn Sweater by Carrie Bostic Hogue, and it's knit in Owl from Quince & Co. And I really want to make this like my kind of cardigan for sure. Simple. I love the pockets. I love the buttons going up at the front. Love the collar. She's got 3/4 length sleeves, it looks like, which of course you can make longer if you'd like. It's knit all in one piece, I believe, from the top down. Oh wait, is it bottom up? Well, let me see. No, you start with the collar. Raglan Chafing. Here's another great picture of it. But that's Taproot magazine. I saw this magazine on the shelves at Whole Foods, or you can order it. And Amanda Soul is the editor, one of the editors. And she, of course, Amanda Blake Soul. She's the Soul Mama blog that I love. I never miss an entry in that one. So that's all my fun products, but I want to make this sweater. And now kind of moving on to things that I have coming up. First of all, I want to share, I feel like this is kind of a milestone because I've wanted one of these for so long, but this beautiful skein of Empire wool from Jill Draper Makes Stuff. I ordered this from Tolt Yarn. Is it Tolt Yarn and Wool? In the Seattle area. I think it's actually Carnation, Seattle. I went to that shop last spring and visited. But JillDraper.com, you can find out all about her yarn. But I met her at the Knitters Review retreat. She was attending the retreat. She wasn't working at the retreat, but I had already ordered this when I met her, so I was excited to meet her in person and tell her that I got one of her Giant Empire skeins. This is an Aran weight. It's 1,280 yards, so it's enough for a sweater. She recommends knitting it on a US 9 to 10.5. It's 100% Rambouillet wool. And she told me the story of how she actually, she goes to the farms where she gets her wool. She goes to the farms, she checks in with them, she looks at the animals and makes sure that they're being treated well. She has a big van that has no seats in the back, and she goes around to the farms and picks up the sheared fleeces and loads up the back of her van, and then she drives the fleece over to the mill. It's such a local production, and her involvement is so sincere and thorough, and it makes you feel really good about owning one of her big squishy skeins of yarn. She does all kinds of yarn. It's not just like this huge, gigantic, thing. But I'm trying to decide, like, how do you, I think I was thinking about you could break it into cakes of wool and wind it in separate cakes, but then part of the charm and allure of this is that it's this one gigantic thing. But I'd have to break it anyway if I did. I want to do either a bottom up or a top down, one piece cardigan probably, so I'd have to end up breaking the wool anyway. And then it's 100% wool, so you could wet splice it together, so there still wouldn't be any knot. I'm trying to decide, do I wind a gigantic ball like this? Do I break it up? I don't know. I'm just kind of enjoying it in this state right now, so I'll probably just leave it at that. So I did want to share with you, so I did... this is the Yowza Weigh It shawl, the new shawl design that I have that was released like a week or two ago. And I hadn't really shown it in video form. I'm knocking over my list there. So, see all my layers I've got on here. This is the beautiful Yowza What a Skein, and I want you to be able to, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can. You can see that it has so much fun color variation. It's kind of darker, so it's hard to see, but it's really long and narrow, so that's the widest point right there. I hope you can see that, but and then the ends are extended and long, so it's fun to play around with, and then I put a ruffle on it. Now, there's no counting in the shawl, and what makes me laugh is that I've had, not a lot of people, but I've had a couple of people have written me and asked me to count. They want me to count, and it's a no count shawl. So I never counted when I made it. I know, it's totally fine that they asked me to count, but I have never counted it. And that's the whole point of the shawl, is that you don't count. You just weigh it as you go. And that's what makes it kind of fun and simple to knit. So there's that. The Yowza, it's called Yowza Weigh It shawl. So you might want to check that out if you're interested. And I have several more skeins of Yowza, and this is the next one I'm working on. I won't show it to you because, well, first of all, it's all on my needle, so I can't even. But this is called the Midnight Stroll color, and it's grays and different shades of blue, like teal all the way to, see that dark even is really like a dark navy blue, and actually a little bit of green color in there every once in a while. I think when the color changes, it shows up as kind of a really pretty shade of green. So this one, I'm almost done. Each skein of Yowza weighs 8 yards, and 8 ounces, excuse me, and so I'm down to 2 ounces here. Or maybe less. But anyway, I'm making great progress. I have a lot in it already. It's a different shape, different weighing points. I just want to come up with this fun, super simple series of Yowza What a Skein shawls, because I collected 3 or 4 skeins of that beautiful yarn, and I never know what to make with it because I want to use the whole skein. And each skein has about 560 yards, but what I have noticed is that they weigh different, and they all weigh on the over side. So I had one that weighed over 8 ounces. I've had 2 that have weighed over 8 ounces. So everybody's shawl may vary a little bit, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of it. So when you weigh it initially, you'll have to see what yours weighs. You can just make it a little bigger if it's bigger. Sorry, ooh, something made me my nose tickle there. I'll show you the other 2. So I'm on my second Yowza Weigh It shawl. I have this skein lined up. Next, I mean, just look at the fun, the garter stitch. They're all garter stitch, these shawls, and which shows off this variegated yarn so incredibly well. This one is called Berlin, but I love all these dark, rich colors. They're also different, the ones that I picked out, and then my last one is this one. And this one is, you can buy these on the site. Sometimes she has kind of one-of-a-kind skeins, which is what that first shawl that I was wearing is. So this one's called Ansel, and I love it. Just white with those little shocks of black and gray. Oh, I love them. So I have these 2 still that I'm going to make some other shapes with. I have lots of ideas. So look for those if you're interested. Probably run little sales, I don't know, off and on. And then, too, I mentioned this in my blog post, too, and this is not, I don't gain anything from this. This is all about Kate Carter of Infinite Twist. I did a recent shawl design for her that came out not too long ago, several weeks ago or maybe a month ago, and it's called the Hayward shawl, and I just wanted to kind of show it in person because I haven't done that yet. So you start with it's this long crescent shape with the long ends, which are just so fun to wear. This is such a great style to wear, and it's good for people who don't like the triangular, kind of more traditional looking triangular shawls. I like those too, so I like them all. I don't mind wearing any of those, but this one's fun. It's real versatile. You can wrap it around your neck. You can wear it all sorts of different ways. So this is called the Clearwater colorway. It's in her Helix yarn from Infinite Twist, and she's selling kits right now. The shawl is not available for individual download in my Ravelry shop, I think, until the very end of December, and then I'm going to do a shawl knit along for any of my shawl patterns coming up in January after the holiday season. So if you're interested in that, I'll keep you posted or stay tuned. But anyway, so I just was surrounded by water when I was in Hayward, Wisconsin for a family vacation at the end of the summer, last August. And so I just started thinking about water, and I did just like, this is kind of just going into the, from the shore and the little water droplets here, just some really simple little kind of mesh droplets. That's garter stitch. Then I had a stockinette section, and then these are like little waves, kind of like little waves undulating yarn. Oh, that looks pretty up in that light wall section. And then I went to another stockinette section, and then the bigger waves are at the bottom here. So it's kind of this fun progression. These simple lace charts would be completely doable for a first-time lace knitter. the stockinette section and the garter section at the front, so couldn't be any easier for fall. For a first-time knitter, the shape of the shawl just has increases at the beginning and end of the rows, so easy, not much to keep track of at all. And then this is a very simple lace pattern at the bottom here, so I would say go for it if you're at all interested. This one can be worn so many different ways, including tied around the back very comfortably, tied around the back like this, like a shrug, so you're wearing it, you know. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks really cute that way. And also just kind of wrapped up around your neck. Like that. Just have to rearrange it a little bit. So there's another fun project that you could possibly do. The kits are really reasonable. You can buy different forms of the kits that include, I mean, you get the pattern obviously and the yarn, but some kits include stitch markers and needles, and she has several different color options for you to choose from. They're all kind of earthy and very pretty. This one's a clear water, and boy, this goes with just about everything, so that's kind of fun. So that's the Hayward shawl, and it's available at infinitetwist.com. It's also on Ravelry, so you can go look it up on Ravelry too. It's Hayward is what it's called. Okay, so one more thing, fun thing that arrived in the mail for me was a gift from Veronica of Yarn on the House. I was interviewed a couple times on her wonderful blog, which I'm not sure she's doing anymore because she has launched her own yarn business, and it's called Yoth Yarns. Yoth stands for Yarn on the House, so she just took that and ran with it for her yarn company. I'm sorry, I'm having like dry throat and an itchy nose. Things that, what is it when you start talking into a camera? Those things suddenly happen to you. So I'm trying not to itch my nose and clear my throat too much. All right, so anyway, Veronica, I'm going to do a whole feature on this, but just to show you kind of what showed up in my mailbox, I got all these skeins of Veronica's new yarns, the Yoth yarns. You can see the tag right there, Yoth yarns. She has 2 weights of yarn, and one is called Big Sister, which is the DK weight, and her and she's in business with her little brother, so the other one is called Little Brother, so it's called Big Sister and Little Brother. The Little Brother one is fingering weight. I got the caviar colorway and the DK weight, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. It's 231 yards, 100 grams per skein. So I'm going to knit something really beautiful with this, maybe a sweater or something, but I don't know if it's showing up. It's kind of this blue, dark blue-gray color. I think it's kind of washed out there. It's more like that color. Dark blue-gray. Oh, it's so pretty. It smells really good. But she's getting it dyed in Maine. With all those great Maine yarns that you know I love so much. So I'm going to have a big giveaway and review of this coming up, but I was so excited. It's Yoth Yarns. I'll put a link in the blog post. It's yothyarns.com. If you want to look it up, it's available now. She works at Tolt Yarn and Wool in Carnation, Seattle, that I was talking about earlier. And she's an all-around super nice person. I feel like I've kind of known her a little bit for years. The last 2 times I went to Seattle, she drove me around. She came to my class. We went out for dinner a couple times. She is just a load of fun and happiness. I'm really excited for her and her new business because I know it's something that means the world to her. So I wish her so much success. More on that to come, I promise. You know what's funny is that when I did this podcast, I noticed this is where I hit the door slammed on me at the post office. So now I have a scar. And it's still raised. I don't know. It's just so awful. I actually had to get it kind of like glued shut. They maybe should have done stitches now that I look at it, because I have quite a noticeable scar on my forehead. It just adds to my whole face of lines. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to Kristin and talk about all her goodness and exciting things going on. Kristin Nicholas is who I'm talking about. I've known her for many, many years now, just through the knitting industry. And her blog, I've followed it for years and years. It's called Getting Stitched on the Farm. And in between each of those words is a hyphen. gettingstitchedonthefarm.blogspot.com. She also has a website, kristinnicholas.com, and it can get you to all those good links and things that she has going on. She recently filmed a craftsy class so she's a knitter, but she's also an extraordinary embroidery artist. So incredibly talented, and her latest craftsy class is on crewel embroidery. So if you're interested in that, I love all things having to do with stitching and embroidery. I really can't get enough of it, so maybe you feel the same way too. Not only that, she has come out with many yarn lines over the years. Recently, she's teamed up with Regia, and it is pronounced Regia. I always pronounced it Regia, but it is Regia. I did meet Linda Pratt of the Schachenmeyer Westminster Fibers, the distributor of Regia, and she pronounced it Regia. And I asked her, and she said, yes, it's Regia. So there you go. It doesn't matter, however you want to say it. But she's had 2 very successful lines now. One is brand new, of sock yarn through the Regia brand. Kristin lives in Western Massachusetts on a farm where they have sheep, hundreds and hundreds of sheep. She lives in a beautiful, over 100-year-old farmhouse on their land there in Western Massachusetts. It's often featured in magazines because she is such a great artist. She also does painting. She's kind of a whole lifestyle brand all wrapped in one. She cooks, she bakes, she does sewing. She sews all. If you see her on things, she's also the knitting expert on the Knit and Crochet Today show on PBS that Candy Jensen produces. And she sews all of her linen shirts that she wears on there. So if she needs a new shirt, she just whips one up. They look, so beautifully handcrafted, and they're really lovely. So that's fun to see. She has this amazing sense of color. So she sews, she cooks, she bakes, she comes up with recipes. She puts all kinds of recipes for they produce lamb meat, and she does all kinds of great recipes for using the lamb meat that she sells at farmers markets, a farmers market locally to her. When I was just out at Webb's a few weeks ago, I got to go out to dinner with Kristin. She drove in, and we went out for dinner with the lovely Amy Greenman, who works at Webb's. We all kind of go back in the publishing industry, maybe 8 years now or so, but so it's fun to see kind of friends that you've gathered along the way while you've been working in the knitting industry. But anyway, so I'll start with the yarn. Her first line was called Garden Effects, and it's the design line Regia. This is one colorway that I haven't knit up yet. I forgot to bring down. I made a pair of monkey socks. Bring down from my Operation Sock drawers. I have it up there. I knit a pair of monkey socks by Cookie A. It's a free pattern from Knitty, and it just is so pretty in this yarn. Now these, I don't know if you can see that, but these don't exactly do even stripes, but it is kind of a striping effect, and it's so pretty. These Regia yarn skeins are 50 grams, so you need 2 skeins to do a pair of socks. The next Garden Effects sock I'm doing is for my son, and this one is beautiful oranges, blues, greens, kind of a shade of purple, kind of a rusty color, and that's a really beautiful one. I'll show you what that one looks like knit up. I'm doing contrasting heels and toes with just some other yarn that I have. But here's how this looks knit up. So this is for my son, my second son, for Christmas, I'm hoping. But if I finish them, I know I'll give them to him earlier because I can't ever wait. It's so silly. So anyway, there's that. That's a great colorway too. This is some Lorna's Laces sock yarn that I'm just using her shepherd sock as the contrast color there. And her newest line that came out is this fantastic jacquard type patterning, and this is a pair that I finished already. This color number is 3311, and they all have names, but I can't remember what the name is. So this is 3311. I used 2 balls of this, but I love all this interesting patterning. It makes the knitting of these socks go so incredibly fast because it's always changing. I did not try at all to make these match. I just started from the 2 separate balls, and they almost did. The toes, you can see, have just this one little line. I never care if they exactly match because you know what I've really found is that even in kind of longer, or what do I want to say, like more organized stripes where they're, you know, stripes of 5 rows each going down. Even if you have some little blips in there, it's right where your foot bends and the socks get a little bit, you know, if you have like a few little wrinkly lines there anyway, and you can't even tell when you put them on. And I love mismatch stuff. I try to mismatch on purpose all the time because I like it so much. So I try to not get too caught up in that. This is, so Kristin sent me this colorway and the yarn. I knit them right up just because she gets a lot, like a bag of it, and she doesn't have time to knit all those socks, so she doesn't do that. So she shared with me. This one is called Autumn Leaves. Now this one I bought. These are again the 50 gram skeins, and you can see how that, I don't know, it probably doesn't focus very well, but you can see how that one's going to look, and I'm really excited about that. But what I found is you need to be really careful if you're ordering this one. Oh, this one's called, see, this is funny. This one says Colorations Color. Kristin Nicholas, there she is. Kristin Nicholas, Colorations Color. Oh, it's the 65th anniversary of Regia. So this one, I don't know the name of this one either, but this one came in a 100 gram ball. So some of them you can see come in these 50 gram. Now 100 gram is enough to make a pair of socks. The 50 gram you would need 2 balls. So make sure you check. I feel like I got this one at Webb's. I feel like I got this set at Yarn at Webster's. So just make sure you look before you order, because I know you're going to want to order because it's so cute. All right, so this is what I had left over. So I still have quite a bit left over. So I'll have to maybe, I always just save my ends. I never know what I'm going to do with them, but I save them. So that's kind of her newest venture. She does, of course, I want to show you, so if you go on Kristin's website, she does have all kind, not just, she sends out a newsletter. So I subscribe to her newsletter. I subscribe to her blog. And I'm a loyal fan to all that Kristin does because I think she's really cool and talented, and she's just a great person. If you, I'm going to see if I can link to find. I wanted to interview her, but I don't know. It's just been so crazy. I didn't really have time to figure out the technology to do that. Maybe I still will someday, because what I'll try to do is find some links to her, she has done a bunch of interviews, and she's a great interview because she has worked in this industry for decades now, and the stories she has are so funny. She's so honest about everything. She's very forthright. She doesn't try to sugarcoat anything. She kind of tells it how it is. She's extremely honest, down to earth, funny, very funny. She has a great sense of humor. I don't know, you would love her if you know her in person, or if you do love her already. She's just awesome. She also has these classes that she does at her home, which is a studio they built onto her house, and she runs these classes where she invites small groups to her farm, and they get a tour of her farm, and they get to eat in her wonderfully painted home. She's done like oil paintings on the walls, all kinds of things. So I'll try to put up links to as much as I can find about her. But a long time ago, I ordered this embroidery kit from her website to make a pillow, and I love doing these. They're just making this. It's just spider web, circles, polka dots, and then you outline in a little bit of black wool. This is wool and linen, and she gives you the linen, the front and the back linen to make it, and then all the wool in the kits. And you just need, I don't think, maybe it came with needles, but maybe not. But you just need a hoop and needles, and then you're in a pillow form, and you're good to go. And I sewed this one up with my not so great sewing skills. I'm not that great at sewing, but this is a well-loved pillow. It's been sitting on my couch now for years, and we love it. I have another one in the works. I think at that same time I had ordered two. It's this one. And she still has these available on her website. So you can do it. You get very wonderful instructions. This is the backing color. You get this card with all of the wool that you need, and extra, I'm sure, and more. And then you get, this is how far I am on the second one. So I need to get going and finish this up. I love the simplicity of her designs. It's so easy. And that will be a great, cute matching pillow to this one. Such good Kristin type colors. Her colors are always so recognizable. So currently, she has a book that was just released along with her. She's got all kinds of stuff going on. She has another book coming out too very soon, so I'm sure I'll be talking about that at some point. So I'll just talk about her book in a second, but she also sells on her website all these little postcards. I use these all the time. They're just little postcards, but these are her, a photo of her sheep. She does great photography too, so if you look on her blog, you can see great outdoorsy, scenic photos. So she sent me this. She has these new kits that have just been released, kind of to go along with her craftsy class, I guess. On crewel embroidery, but I don't know why she sent me this, I'm so lucky, but she sent me this. Is this adorable little bird in a nest crewel embroidery, which I will definitely be working up. And really, you could work this, you can order all the wool on her, the thread on her website, so I'm going to go there and look for some thread to use to go along with this. Or yarn, I guess maybe they call it yarn or thread, whatever it is you use to embroider with. But it comes with these complete directions. She even gives you ideas of what to do with it. She frames these in 6, 7, or 8-inch embroidery hoops. She has mounted them on cardboard or framed them in vintage frames. Hem the edges and use it as a patch on a pillow. This one's pretty little. Make a pretty little pillow. Sew it onto a canvas bag to act as a pocket. That's a really cute idea. You could use the squares in a quilt. It's very, very sweet, all of it. So she gives you, this is the finished one that she has framed in a vintage frame she found at a flea market. So anyway, there's that. You can order all of those. What a great quick little gift this would make too for the holiday season, either finished or as a kit. Why not? How fun to do a little embroidery kit for a gift. And I have to think about that. I might even do that myself. Get some gifts. But the interesting thing is, I'm going to show you first of all I have a lot of Kristin's books, but she's written a lot of books over the years. I don't even know how many. 8 or 10, maybe. She's prolific. She's talented. And if you can see, look at this is. I'm not kidding. I took these off my bookshelves, and this is how they are marked. I love everything in these. This is a great book it was published by Story. I'm not sure if this is still in print or not, but I'm sure you can still find it on the internets. If you go on Amazon, they have all those sellers, but I could be wrong. It still could be in print. This is Kristin Knits. It's 27 inspired designs for playing with color. Oh, I love this book so much. There's so much information in it. She has adorable patterns, sweaters. Look at those socks. Just lots of color work. I love these. And look here, you can use your embroidery right here. If you take her craftsy class, you can transfer her embroidery over to your knits as well if you're not as interested in just doing the straight out embroidery. This is my other favorite book of Kristin's. It's called Color by Kristin. How to Design Your Own Beautiful Knits. This book, I feel like it's a must-have. This is by Sixth and Spring, which are that's the Vogue knitting people. Oh my gosh, just the cover, it just drives me crazy. And then they always photograph at her farm because what better location would it be? But look at that gorgeous coat. But this one has all, and again, I don't know if you can see it, but look at that's how much, I mean, I just like, I read it and I never want to forget what I read. I mark everything down. It's just beautiful. And this one I've used time and time again because she has tons of color work charts in here for all different stitch counts. I've used them again and again. I refer to this all the time. I mean, I don't know if you can see. They're just, oh, they're so good. So that's kind of like a must-have if you're interested in color work. She has tutorials, tips, tricks, for Fair Isle colorwork knitting. She's a color genius, so if you don't know how to put colors together, you can always look at her stuff and know that you can't go wrong. She gets a lot of her inspiration from her natural environment and textiles she's collected throughout the years from her travels around the world, flea markets. She's really an all-around amazing person. But what's really, oh, and then she also came out recently with this, I think this was by Trafalgar Square. No, St. Martin's Griffin, excuse me, from New York. But the 50 Sunflowers to Knit and Crochet. Yeah, she crochets, she felts, she does anything you can really think of. But there are all these beautiful little sunflowers. She does also some bugs. I think there's a bird in there too that's really, really cute. But she grew sunflowers and still does for years, like fields of sunflowers. I feel like maybe they didn't grow them this year for some reason. But what happened was she had this beautiful, I think, book called Colorful Stitchery from years ago. And I feel like it was through Story Publishing, but I can't remember. But it went out of print. And then right when it went out of print, Roost Books said wanted to pick it up and reprint it. And it was a hardback book, and now it's this beautiful, sweet-looking paperback book. It's retailing for $21.95 in the U.S., $25.95 Canada. Oh my goodness. go and buy this book. It is the most fantastic book. I loved it when it first came out, and my copy has all, I thought I would just share this new copy today, but it has all the same little post-it notes that I put in my books for things I want to remember and refer back to. But this book will teach you everything you know. The publisher sent me this copy of this book. She's just, let me see, I mean, tutorials, step-by-step tutorials, how to sew your pillow, all these great colorful tutorials. She does all these illustrations as well. That's all Kristin's artwork, if you can even believe that. I mean, oh, she's so good. Her projects range from extremely simple, like making an outline, to a little more complex, step-by-step how to make a pillow and sew it together. Her steeking tutorial on her blog is one that I look to again and again and again. Pretty much every time before I steek something, I go and glance at her sewn steek tutorial. But you know what I love is that she has a lot of like pillows and tea cozies. These are little sayings that you can stitch on, quirky quotes, she calls it. This is such a great starting place for, oh my gosh, little stitched aprons. I would like those. I don't ever wear an apron, but I should. Where am I looking for? I love the way she took, oh here, I love these. Corduroy, stitching in corduroy where you already have the lines on the fabric, and then you just do a great little stitching to add on. Well, so I feel like she has these great bases, and then she just adds a little something to it that makes it over the top and adorable and way more fun than if it was just kind of left plain. Now, the first book had this on the cover, but I love the way she took patterned fabric. This one's about plaids, and she stitched right over the plaid. That kind of thing just drives me crazy. I love it. Doesn't that just make you want to make everything in here? Again, she took, patterned fabric and then just added to it to make it a little bit better. And then you already have all those lines right on the fabric. Stitching on velvet. She has a whole variety of materials you can use. Tea cozy, egg cozy, pot holders, tablecloth. I mean, oh, she's a section just with little projects. Graham's pillowcases my way. Making adorable little pillowcases. I mean, it's so sweet. She's so good. Crewel embroidery. Curtains. A little bear. I don't know. There's so many projects in here. I don't even know how many projects. 65 projects in here. So today I'm going to give away a copy of this book and sock yarn. I'm going to make it a big prize this week. I'm going to pick one winner, and you will be, I'll let you and Kristin decide on your sock yarn. She may just pick a color way that she has out of her new, the more like a jacquard style sock yarn, the newer one that just came out. I guess they're calling it Colorations Color. By Kristin Nicholas, Regia Design Line. I'll let you two work that out. I'll get you in touch, and then the publisher will send you your copy of Colorful Stitchery. This, I'm telling you, can be used in your knitting if you're not interested in doing stitchery on materials. All this stuff is great. You can add on to some little fingerless mitts and do some flowers onto a sweater. Like, for example, see this sweater? This is my favorite sweater, and it's very thin. To wear a thin sweater. Like when I'm teaching, I get kind of warm because I'm running around teaching and talking and all that good stuff. But so I like to wear these really thin weight sweaters. And I have a hole in it. It got a little hole in it. So I was just looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, I should just do, like, stitch that up and do a little stitchery right around it. And I would look like I'd be wearing a little flower pin. So I think I'm going to do that. So you'll see that cubby right there. So leave a comment. Just say hi. Tell me what you love about Kristin. You don't have to. Just say hi. And I will put your name in the pot for a randomly selected winner. And show your love to Kristin. I'll link. I have a Craftsy class. I started watching it, and I'm going to finish that up. I think that's it for today. All the information will be in the blog post. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and have a great, great week. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving coming up, knitters. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.